In this lecture, we will be looking at accessibility, which is outlined by ADA, which is Americans with Disabilities Act. This is a very, very important set of regulations that is coming to your use for the design of any new projects as well as modification or renovation of existing publicly, I underline that, used projects. It covers all facets of occupancies from commercial and industrial, institutional, and multiple units housing, which means condominiums, apartments, and hotels. That is the area used by the public. Inside the single family homes are exempted from application of this regulation. However, there are renovation guidelines which are extremely useful for renovating buildings that can be accommodating the ADA. But when you build a single family home, unless your client has disabilities and requests for it, you are not required to get that incorporated into your design. The areas in which ADA becomes concerned: the major areas. One is, I should add accessibility. One, main entrances. 2, vehicular access. 3, sanitary facilities, restrooms, bathrooms, etc. And route of travel, which means someone being able with disability to go from point A to point B. Now, the route of travel can be horizontal, like corridors, etc., or it can be vertical, which concerns you with A. Stairs. B. Ramps. C. Elevators. D. Lifts. So these are the main areas in which you need to be concerned about. Let's talk about the first item, the main entrance. What it means, basically, to make an entrance accessible is that, let's say you have a building in here, and this is your building, and this is your main entrance. Here is, let's say, your parking. Here is so this is the parking. Here is your sidewalk. And here is your street. When we want to make an entrance accessible, we are not only talking to make entrance accessible from the parking, which means you need to have a path of travel which is safe. 2, you have to have parking stalls which are dimensioned per ADA regulations. The other thing is, so from here, and then the other thing is that, let's say you have a bus stop, a bus comes, and someone with a wheelchair comes out and he wants to access this building. So the second item is pedestrian access to the entrance, which again concerns the most important thing is you have to have a safe path of travel outlined. Typically, the path of travel, let's say here, this person gets dropped off at this bus stop and comes by the wheelchair on the sidewalk, and you need to provide this person with a way to get through to this building. So let's say these are the areas that are planters or not parking areas. So at this point you open up, instead of having a planter, you create a path that this person, without changing level or a minor change level, which I'm going to explain shortly, can come in through here. Through here, again, you open up the path and get to the sidewalk next to the building, and then that way he can get into the main building. So the path of travel is a condition which, if you notice, I didn't at all mention that you can just open it up here, because that way you're going through the stalls, and that's not the right way to do it. The path of travel shall always remain unblocked. Means no parking, no loading, nothing can always clear. That is very important to remember. Now, typically, the path of travel is identified with what is known as hatching, which is, you identify that with striping, as it used in construction terms and in drawings and drafting, you will call it the hatching system. And basically, this color is a blue, and is a federal blue, that means the number and the type of the blue have been pretty much explained, ingredients of it and all of that have been explained in the regulation. And these are typically about 3 feet wide. The stripes are about 2 to 3 inches. And that way the path of travel is marked. I will shortly continue with the additional information on the main entry access and the sidewalk access, the slopes, and all of that.